Hello, hello. This is the 97th Test from the Future, an experimental podcast from the year 2223, which we are sending from our present to yours. My name is Dirk.
And my name is Simon.
And we're putting the past in podcast. And today we have a really fun topic.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, I'm excited, I'm jumping in there.
You can blow the lid.
Mm-hmm. So, emoji from the future.
Exactly. It's a very big part of our communication.
Mm-hmm.
Emoji.
Yeah, I'd say at least 60% of anything I write is emoji.
Exactly. And we understood emoji have been around for longer than 200 years.
Exactly. They came into existence before 200 years ago.
Exactly.
So our listeners know about them.
Exactly. So you have something that we also have. Mm-hmm. So we have something shared, so we can...
And of course ours are better, they're 200 years better. But
have evolved.
Exactly.
Just imagine emoji after 200 years of evolution.
Yeah. Development, new ones coming along, refinement. Some of them, of course, being retired, but that's a separate thing.
But it's also a lot of the things we speak about our pods and holodecks and teleporters. It's stuff that our listeners have no idea what we're talking about.
Right.
And this is something that they definitely will know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure they have intimate experience with emoji.
So we were thinking of a nice format to insert this topic into one of our episodes. Mm-hmm. And we thought, let's look at all the emoji that have been added the last 200 years.
Yeah, which is most of them, to be fair.
Yeah, good point, actually.
But we're excluding the ones that existed before.
We basically, for each emoji, it's registered when it first was officially released. Mm-hmm. So we've basically got the list of everything that was released 200 years ago or less.
Yeah, I can look at the date. So from, I guess, this will be coming out on the 19th of February.
Yeah.
So everything from the 20th of February, 20th February 2023 onwards.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be an emoji that's officially going to be released tomorrow for our listeners.
It came out on the 21st, but if you listen to this on the 20th, it's still
true.
In the future.
And if you actually listen to this on the 29th, then may have just actually been released. Mm. So if you're saying, hey, that one just got released last week, exactly.
That's on you for listening to the episode, not the day it came out.
Exactly, not the second it came out. Mm. So, I mean, that was a really long list, so we're not going to...
Right, no, we picked some.
Yeah. But we each have our favorites. Mm. So we thought we'll just take turns, and at one point it's enough, and then that's it.
Yeah.
You want to kick it off?
I shall. The first one here is a teleporter. Wait a minute. Shall we describe them first and then say what they are, or say what they are and then describe them?
Like in this
one,
case,
I spoiled it.
In this case, let's... But in the next one, let's reverse. Yeah,
okay,
good idea.
Okay, so it's a teleporter. Now you know what it is. But okay, we can describe it, or I can describe it in this case. It's a blue square with a white square, like an outline inside of it, with an arrow, 2 arrows above it, one pointing up, one pointing down, and then 3 people standing side by side. Yeah. In that white outline of a rectangle.
It was a very early version. Initially, the teleporters were...
multi-people.
Exactly. I mean, they still are. They still fit. But like I would say 90% of the teleporters that I see and use are one person. Yeah. Or they're made.
I mean, the downside of the one with 3 people or 2 people, the downside of ones with multiple people is occasionally, people would get mixed up with each other. That was a undesirable outcome most of the time. But I mean, But the emoji dates back a long time, so and it hasn't been updated.
Exactly, and everybody got used to it. As it's like, we know this emoji means a teleporter. If they would now make one that looks more like modern day teleporters,
then it would just be a person in a box.
Yeah, but people wouldn't recognize that.
Exactly, you wouldn't recognize it as a teleporter.
What's that noise? Did you just hear that?
I did, but I didn't recognize it. It's not something I've heard before.
Okay.
Anyway.
But that's.
So that was the first one, teleport. Okay, from now on, we won't say the name first.
Yes.
We'll describe it first.
Exactly, and then our listeners can guess.
We can then say what it is.
Yes. No, exactly. Like they can guess for themselves for a
playing
second.
along, but exactly then we will say what it is.
For example.
So your one.
Oh yeah. So it's kind of like a sphere, and it has like a circular pattern on the sphere.
It swirls.
Swirl, so that's the right word, yeah. And then it actually looks like a round Easter egg, if you can put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on the ends, it's like dark green bluish. And towards the, let's say, equator.
So the poles.
The poles, yeah. And exactly towards the equator. I'm spoiling it a little bit already.
Bit now, yeah.
There are like different colors of circles or swirls.
Like different bands, yeah.
Exactly. And then they are all within the blue, green, yellow kind of spectrum.
Yeah, a bit of orange maybe.
Yeah.
In amongst the yellow, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you have to, like, if you look at it from afar, you basically see like a round Easter egg. If you look up it close, it more looks like a planet.
Yeah. But I think you missed off one of the key details, or at least I didn't hear it. Like you say, a planet, greenish, bluish poles, yellowish, orangish equator. It's also got a big ring around it.
Yes. The ring. I didn't mention the ring.
No.
So it's Clarabelle.
Hey.
It's the new planet in our solar system.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because it wasn't discovered yet back in the 21st century.
It's exactly. It won't have been around. It can't have been around even in their lifetimes, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was there, but they just didn't know about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's the emoji for Clarabelle, or the youngest planet, or at least the.
Most recently discovered in our solar system.
That's it.
Okay. Next emoji here. It's hey, we're going spherical again. It's a purple ball with as if it's got so it looks like a ball with purple smoke inside of it. So I'd say a glass ball with purple smoke inside and maybe some glinting stars. All of it resting on like a cone, a golden cone with the point chopped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a pedestal or
pedestal. Yeah. Golden pedestal with a glass ball filled with purple smoke and stars sitting on top.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obviously, I mean, what else could it be? That's the emoji for the chorus verse.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think this was one of our most listened to episodes. It's about like the virtual world that we have.
Exactly, here. The world within a world.
Exactly. So it's like I think the emoji was very well picked because it kind of has this kind of fantasy virtual kind of feeling with it, but still then something you can touch.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Then I will go for the one that I really like. It's it looks like black spaghetti.
Sure.
Like one line of black spaghetti, but it's positioned like in curls.
Yeah. Almost like the top part of what are they called? A pretzel.
Yeah, a little bit like,
but then without the bottom part.
Or like glasses.
Like the kind you wear on your face, not the kind you drink from.
But it was basically like a black curved line.
Or like an owl's, like these are the eyes of the owl, and these are its like little eyebrow things going off, and it's missing the beak, of course.
But that explains it. I hadn't actually never, because
I mean, I'm zooming in real close now.
It's for our listeners. It's the emoji for chance.
Right.
And now that you mention that it looks a little bit like the owl, that explains it.
Makes a bit more sense, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a really basic. Hey, what? No.
What's going on?
It's the weird sound again.
Yeah. But I couldn't. It's strange. Yeah, like I can't quite hear what's going on with it.
It's like sort of. I think we're not meant to hear this. It's probably meant for somebody else.
Yeah. Maybe one of my neighbors is listening to something, or getting a call or whatever.
Okay. Or maybe just somebody's trying to hack into our podcast. Stop talking, we're trying to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Where were we?
I'm going to give them numbers now, even though they're not numbered, just like for keeping track of it, rather than us saying, okay, next one. Okay, next one. Okay, next one, number 4. Emoji number 4.
5.
1, 2, yeah, I can't count. So number 5, there we go. We didn't actually have numbers next to these. So, okay, this is number 5. We'll remember next one's number 6. Emoji number 5 is another blue rectangle, but this time, square rather. Another blue square with rounded corners, but a much darker, more subdued shade of blue. And it's got an arrow in the middle of it pointing down, but its tail is going up and curving to the left. I guess you could say it a different way. It's an arrow coming in from the left, curving down and pointing down toward the bottom of the square.
You're describing it really well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm zoomed in real close, so that's why I'm...
I don't
think I'd describe it so well if I was just, recalling it from memory.
For the next description, I'm going to close my eyes, pretend I'm listening to our own podcast,
and then
see if I can envision it.
Yeah, okay, do the opposite of me. But anyway, so that emoji is for shrinking, like in the shrink cities.
Yeah.
See it on all the signposts.
Exactly. I think this is one of the, at least from the ones that we picked, probably the one that you see the most.
Yeah.
It's a very common one. It's basically, if you ask somebody, hey, what are you going to do tonight? And you get that emoji back, and you know they're going to visit like a shrink city or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to describe the next one.
Yeah. But what are you going to say? Oh, sorry, I left it to take that. So I'll say it for you. Oh, yeah. Emoji number 6.
Emoji number 6. Oh man, I missed that.
It's okay. I mean, it's a new idea I just came up with. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay, number 6. Dun, 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 dun. This is it looks like a bit of a wooden plank. I shouldn't. A wooden plank. It's yellow. It's kind of high, and it's rounded at the ends. Mm-hmm. And kind of curving inwards in the middle.
Yeah.
And
concave, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Concave. And it's completely yellow, but with kind of like...
it's like poppy seeds.
Yeah, kind of like a poppy seed pattern on it, which really has nothing to do with what it is. But that's what they chose for this particular thing. Mm-hmm. And it's especially... Well, it's all future stuff. So,
of course.
But it's especially the height kind of gives it away. Yeah. So it's a pretty high board that's curved, has no wheels.
No wheels, indeed. It's no kind of skateboard.
It's a hoverboard.
Hey.
And then if you've seen ones, I mean, you will recognize them. I mean, they're coming many different kind of shapes and sizes, but all have this...
an iconic version.
Exactly.
I think also the texture, at least when the emoji was released, I think this would have been the most iconic texture.
Yeah.
And that's why it looks like that's why it's covered in poppy seeds.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Emoji number 7. 2 brown cylinders, light brown on the inside. So first of all, one brown cylinder laying down, relaxed upon the ground. Then another brown cylinder jauntily leaning against it, waving its little twig arm in the air. Mm-hmm. They're actually 2 logs, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So, a lighter brown on the cross section and then a darker brown for the bark.
And it doesn't you don't see it from the emoji, but they are massive.
Sure, it's a bit hard to tell the sense of scale, but yeah, you can...
Like this, like in reality, they're like the size of a small mountain.
Each of them,
yeah.
Each of the logs, yeah.
Exactly. So that's, I mean, that should kind of give it away, because I think this is one of the oldest ones. Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, the emoji itself came later, but the thing it's representing has been around.
Exactly. So I'm assuming that the landmark, kind of almost spoiling it, the landmark is already around in the 21st century, even if the emoji was added later.
Yeah. And that place is called Scunthorpe.
Yeah. Yeah, Scunthorpe.
It was the 7th emoji for a place.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Paris, New York, Sydney, Tokyo, Rio, and London, I think, were the 6 before.
Yeah, exactly.
And the 7th one, Scunthorpe.
Exactly, taking the emoji for a city up to 7.
Mm-hmm.
Scunthorpe. But of course, like with a landmark like that, it was just a matter of time.
Of course, yeah. It was too iconic not to get its own emoji.
Mm-hmm. Okay, number 8. Yes, I got the number. Hold on, now
it's back again. This time, it's almost like I can almost make out words, but I can't make out what they're saying.
I think it's coming from the low fidelity wave burner.
I think you're right. Yeah, right. First I thought it was the neighbours, but no, that would be over there, and it's coming from over there where we've got the low fidelity wave burner.
I also feel like it's getting this stronger or
more intense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe after
we should probably look into that after we finish recording.
Yeah. So the next one, it's again like a little cylinder thingy. It's a cylinder standing up. I'm saying it looks like a cylinder. It is not really a cylinder, but it's no, I mean like in reality.
I mean, it's a picture.
Okay, it's an emoji. It's a simplified.
Right. It's a simplified version of the real thing.
Exactly. So, and then on the top of the cylinder, it's kind of like cone shaped shape. Mm-hmm. a little curved at the bottom, and the coney thing has on the outside it's orange, and when you get more to the center of the coney bit, it gets brighter and brighter.
Right, it goes from orange to yellow to white at the center.
Yeah, exactly. And then the side of the cylinder has kind of like undistinguishable, kind of like longish shapes
like
stuck
goo?
to it.
Yeah. Like someone poured some goo on it, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like in this particular case, it's always the same.
Yeah.
But in reality, it does look a little like this. But these kind of shapy things, they change from case to case.
Right.
And all the way at the bottom, there's kind of like
it's another pedestal, yeah. But
yeah,
it's
exactly.
silver.
Exactly. Like it's like it looks like a pedestal. In reality, it's kind of like translucent. Like the whole thing in reality is actually translucent, which doesn't actually come over.
I mean, we're looking at it here on a solid background. I guess it would be more noticeable if there was some picture behind it.
Yeah, I guess I thought you can make emoji also translucent, but yeah. So I'm just describing it as a thing, but it's more of a being.
Yeah.
So it's the emoji for Illuminati.
Genau. They got their very own emoji.
Exactly. Like the Parsons got one, and this is the one that I just described as for the Illuminati. Yeah. Only makes sense that the two alien races that we've met get their own emoji.
Of course.
So, and to be honest, this wasn't the first emoji for the Illuminati. No, the first one that was released, they didn't like it.
Okay, yeah. They vetoed it.
Nobody thought to ask them.
But they didn't exactly. Right, it wasn't a veto before it was released. It was released. People could use it for a while, and that's one of the ones I mentioned earlier that some get retired. So that one was retired.
Yeah, it got brought up in one of the UFO pool meetings, kind of out of the blue. Yeah. It's like one of the Illuminati asked, "Hey, what's this thing? We've heard about this," and we're like, we suddenly had to explain emoji and to them, and they were like, "That looks nothing like us." Yeah. Okay, okay, sorry, and then we came up with a new one.
Yeah. That this time in consultation with them.
Yeah, exactly. They approved this one, and Parsons didn't give it.
They were fine with this original.
Yeah, exactly. They also, I mean, I'm not sure if they were fine, but they didn't care.
Sure, yeah.
The Illuminati cared more.
So, emoji number 9. Zoom in again so I can describe it.
Oh, I'm closing my eyes.
Oh, yeah, you want to hear the word pictures.
Yes.
See the word pictures. So, 3 rectangles. 2 of them yellow, 1 of them red. On the left, there's a yellow rectangle going vertically from the bottom to the top. Then at the top of there's another yellow rectangle going from the left to the right, so crossing it, basically making a right angle. Then from the end of that horizontal one, looks like some ropes hanging down with a hook on the end, and that's holding a red rectangle. It's pretty abstract. It's like, some icons are really illustrative. You really can know what they are. This is just a bunch of rectangles as far as I can tell. And, it represents floating city. A floating city, or floating cities in general.
I'm opening my eyes now.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I knew I was on the list, but I still didn't guess.
Okay. It's a bit of a hard one to describe.
Yeah, that's true, actually. But it's also, like, kind of hard. How do you summarize, like, a floating city in, like, a tiny icon?
Yeah. Because then it could just be an island and you don't see the water. So I think the idea is here, there's a rope involved. Maybe the city, when they're building it, they need to use these ropes to lift up the pieces.
I guess, yeah. But it's still, funny enough, it is maybe not something you would immediately say, this means a floating city. But once you've learned this...
Sure. Then it's...
like, this is...
Nothing else could be the emoji for a floating city.
Yeah, totally, yeah. It's totally... I mean, it's kind of like a logo almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so the next one, it's grayish. And this is basically like 2 sheets next to each other. They're combined at the bottom and at the sides.
Like sheets of lasagna, or what kind of sheets?
Sheets of some sort of material. I know what the material...
metal, yeah, like aluminium maybe.
Yes, like it does look a little like metal on the picture. I think because in reality, it's not metal.
Sure, no. Not the things that it represents.
And that's basically it. It's open at the top, but it's closed on all the sides.
Yeah.
It's a really simple one, and it's the one for Ziploc bags. It's one of the newest emoji around
Yeah.
because Ziploc bags haven't been around for so long.
Right.
I think it got released last December.
Sounds right.
Let's
Maybe
check.
a bit older than that.
Yeah, no, October.
Last
it says.
year anyway.
Yeah,
October.
It says on the October. Because it was a relatively new innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And emoji number 11. It's a shield. That's an easy way to describe it. Red on the left, white on the right. So 2 colors split vertically, but not with a straight line down the middle, but like a zigzag pattern. So basically red triangles and white triangles intersecting.
Yeah, it's really one of the more cool looking. Hey, what? Hey,
Yeah,
that's,
This is the 10,436 from the teacher. From the teacher. My name is Dirk.
I could make out what they were saying.
that sounded very familiar.
That was eerily familiar.
That is.
I didn't catch the number, but it was a big number.
That was something with 1,000.
Yeah.
Um,
But it didn't sound like us, yeah. But it maybe someone pretending, like playing a joke on us.
Yeah, but it came out of the low fidelity wave burner very clearly now.
Right, and how else?
Something is fishy.
Yep. We should definitely look at that a bit closer when we finish recording, see what's going on.
I think we should finish recording now and take a
That
look.
sounds good.
Because this is now getting a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
I would say if we have any listener questions.
There is one.
Okay.
I think we can answer it quickly.
Yeah, okay.
I'll read the question. Jocelyn Loudon says, you claim there's no more meat and alcohol consumption in the 21st century, yet you drink absinthe and eat meatballs. What's up with that? Simple.
Fair question.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've mentioned before, but at least the absinthe is alcohol-free, and the meatballs are meat-free. They're just balls.
Yeah, they're just balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drink
Simple as that.
we drink absinthe without alcohol.
Yep.
And meatballs without the meat.
Yep. Hope that answers your question, Jocelyn.
And if not, ask more questions.
Yep. And to do that, Jocelyn or other people, write to us at michaellasagna5@gmail.com. Put the number 97 in the subject so we know that this episode went back in time successfully.
Exactly. So we're
rushing a little bit.
We're rushing it a little bit because we want to check out what's going on. So thanks everybody for listening to us, and see you in 200 years.
Bye-bye.